All right, here we are. We're live. It's been a long time. There's been a
It
lot
has.
going on. I'm just
We're
gonna,
rested though. We feel rested.
yeah, well, I'm gonna get it out of the way to be, just to start with, and then probably never address it again. But I did lose my husband in December.
Yep.
Um,
So sorry, Ange.
Thank you. I think that um, it really gave me some ideas, some good ideas for conversations for the show. The number one being how important it is for people to make peace with being by themselves, with being with their own company. But that's
Hmm.
for another day. That's not what we're talking about today. Um, but it's been a while. We just really kind of struggled to sort of figure out where we were trying to go and what we wanted to do. And we realized that we really loved what we were doing, um, and just needed to tweak a little bit.
Yeah,
So it'll look like basically pretty much the show is going to look like what it's always looked like and what it sounded like. And
but
we're
better.
just gonna, yes. Well, I do like the idea of, a video we see or a book we read or whatever being like the topic of conversation for us
Yeah. Yep.
because,
It's kind of like what
um,
I found this week. Cool stuff I found this week.
oh, yeah. So, um, now because January is like basically over, but there's still February. We decided today to talk about this whole idea of January reset. Now, we've done episodes in the past about resolutions and, trying to reframe them and trying to
Yep.
figure out. And I have to be honest, with all the different things I've heard and all the different things I've read and the different people I listen to, and well, now we do know that I listen to my head mostly, but um, the idea that the calendar shifted and that the beginning of the year really isn't January made it was like
Right. Right. When I read
it,
that, when I read that article you sent, I was like, that makes so much sense. Hello.
yeah, I mean, because everybody I know that does any kind of anything in January, whether it's resolutions or new plans or whatever, it's a struggle.
Yeah. Your being doesn't want to reset. Your
And
being just wants to stay warm. At least up here in the north.
yeah, I mean, for sure, and I don't know if maybe in this, in Florida or whatever, if people, oh, we have a listener. Hello there. um, I don't know if people in Florida sort of struggle with the same sort of reset like we do, but I know here, so many people suffer without the sunshine, and it's just hard. So the idea that, you know, when I ran it through ChatGPT, the idea, of course, it wants to lean in. Well, you're not doing it wrong. It's just the wrong time of year, and I just don't really like that slant. I don't
Right.
like that
Right.
sort of negative slant. Nobody said anybody was doing anything wrong, right? What we're doing is what everybody's always been doing. January reset, January resolutions, start over fresh in the beginning of the year. But really, if the beginning of the year isn't until March, then right now we should still be hibernating, looking within.
Mhm.
We got a lot of listeners today. It's great to be back.
Indeed.
And I have a friend who's a therapist, and she without even really thinking noticed that most of the work she's doing right now with the clients she works with is somatic work, working looking inwards, looking,
Mhm.
inside, not looking at external sources, but within. So um I like this particular quote that I saw. It says the fresh start effect creates a psychological trap where the symbolic power of January triggers massive initial motivation, but actually correlates with the lowest states of sustained habit formation.
Hmm.
This explains why 41% of Americans abandon resolutions by mid January, and only 27% of Brits keep them for the entire year.
Hmm. Interesting.
I mean, and it's funny because so I've been going to Weight Watchers for a very long time, and one thing I can tell you is, a lot of people would say, "Oh, January must be busy with all kinds of new people." The new people don't really show up until the middle of February, maybe the beginning of March, and I never put it together until just now that so so what do you do that, what do you have habits in January? Do you have things that you try to make, that make you crazy trying to accomplish in January that if you
Well,
just
there
shifted
is
your
one thing.
perspective a little bit,
Yeah, actually, to kind of spin it a little bit more positive, there is one thing I've done the last few years. And the end of December, I clear off my entire overflowing to-do list. I basically say these tasks are no longer going to get done. I put them, I save them off somewhere, and I start clean. What really needs to get done? Who's going to do it? And I really start fresh with a strategy and a set of uh, tasks and projects and so on that makes sense and is not overwhelming. And that seems to work. Um,
Oh, okay.
that is actually working for me this year. Last year, what happened is I put them all in the system, everything I could possibly want to get done, and I had a tool that would automatically save time on your calendar for you. And when it was all done, it booked my entire life out to mid-April. Like, wait a second. Wait. Everybody out. And that clearly was not the right solution. So
So you just typed in a list of things you needed to accomplish and it just booked out your calendar for you?
pretty much, I went down to like, hey, I got to get this new website up and running. What are the tasks? Well, I got to do this part and this part and this part and this part. So those tasks became the fuel for like, oh, hey, let's get you all scheduled out so you get your project done. All right, let's see it. And all the projects containing all the tasks literally had me booked out to mid-April.
Oh my gosh. Now
And that,
see, I would just die. Well, I
well,
mean, of course
clearly
not
that was
really.
wrong. Now what I
Well,
do,
go
anyway, go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, I told the system, don't book it, just book me blocks of time that I call focus time. And I'll find the tasks to do from the task list during
Okay, that
focus
makes
time.
sense.
That
Now
works a lot
see,
better.
I have a relative, I have a niece who uses not one, not two, but three calendars in addition to the calendar in her phone. She has herself scheduled within an inch of her life. And I
Wow.
look at that and I go, I can't breathe.
Right.
So obviously there must be, um, different people, different, I don't know, what would you call it, archetypes, different
Yeah,
kinds of people do
personality
different things.
types. Yep.
But there's another point in this list that I think is a really good something I never really thought of. But the holiday season is from October through the end of December. And it systematically weakens our physical and emotional resources because we overindulge. We eat heavy food. A lot of us do. I didn't this year, um,
Typically, the holiday
but
parties
the
are the
holiday
thing.
parties and all the indulgences, maybe people indulge in alcohol a little bit more. I That's another thing I don't do. I don't
Mm.
have anything against it. It's just not something I do.
Yep.
Um, but it leaves us at our lowest, like even physical point when
Yeah.
January gets
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
So
January's
we haven't
recovery.
even given ourselves the opportunity to recover from all of that. And January 1, we're like, okay, let's go, let's get this done. And it's
Right.
um I don't know. Do you remember when you gave up resolutions? Like the actual resolutions, like this
Yeah.
year
I
I
think
resolved to blah
I
blah
think
blah.
by college I was done with them because I
Yeah,
I
me
kind of
too.
knew this doesn't really work. I'm kind of happy with my life the way it is. Good enough.
Good enough, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, and it's funny because I think that um, a lot of people. I mean, what are the most common resolutions? I probably should have looked that up before I
Yeah.
even
Lose weight.
thought that. Lose
Drink
weight, quit
less.
smoking, drink more
Exercise.
water,
Yep. Go to
drink
the
less
gym.
alcohol. Yeah, exercise more.
Go to bed on time.
And I mean, I don't know. though, if you're not already doing those things, how sustainable can it be if you're trying to force yourself to do it in January? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
the thing we talked about last year was systems. If you have a resolution, just stating it isn't going to make it work. You have to build the system into your life to actually make it work. That's
and how
that's
about
how
you have to really want to do it, right?
yeah.
Like,
The desire's got to be there, and if you're going to do one thing, you probably have to give something else up, or if you're going to try to learn how to do something, you need to schedule time for it. And so building those systems. You know what? Before we get too much further, I want to talk about that article that you sent, because what was really like the big aha moment there was that traditionally springtime was considered the beginning of the year. And
right.
what happens in springtime? Everything kind of starts anew.
Everything blossoms. Everything
Everything
comes, yeah.
blossoms. The cold goes away again here in the north. The snow melts. New plants come out, new leaves come out on the trees, new animals are born, new. When's the best time to start something new? When the universe, or when the world, when your environment is all generating things that are new.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yep.
It it so on that topic, um, as we refer to esoteric traditions,
Hmm.
spiritual traditions, many different um, ways of thinking, winter is considered the dark night of the soul period.
Oh,
I'm not a big fan of dark night of the soul. Like and that's not a conversation for today. I mean, I know
right.
there's a lot of people that say I had a dark night of the soul and blah, 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 but I think a lot of it is how you frame it in your head. So I'm going to leave that be. But if the dark night of the soul period is really for looking in and reflecting, a sacred time for deep introspection and integration of the previous year's lessons rather than launching new ventures. The soul's natural rhythm calls for a retreat and contemplation during this season, making January an energetically inappropriate time for external beginnings. So I wonder, like, um, and I've not done this, and I'm gonna. There's two things. I've not done this before. There is something I'm going to do, um, but I don't know too many people who sit down the end of December, beginning of January, and say, "What did I really learn last year?" You know,
Yeah.
what are the things that happened? How did I handle them? What did I learn? How could I have done it better? What did I handle well? What did I handle not so well? Why might that be? There's a lot to that, right?
Yeah, kind of a retrospective.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think that, you know, that would be compiling some very good data to figure out what it is you want to do and what you want to start with moving forward, right?
Right. So knowing what you're going to do this year, a great thing to do would be like, well, what had you wanted to get done last year, and what did you actually get done last year? All right, let's take that concept and apply it to the following year. That's really
Yeah,
smart.
but I think you need to take it further than that. What did I learn from it? What did I, not just what
Yes.
you want to get done. It's not about remember just be. I
Remember
think
what?
we're all I think we are all trying to do too many things,
Yeah. Yes. Right.
you know.
Overscheduled,
So,
over committed.
right, and you know, there are always times that are going to get by you if you are too full, you fill up your calendar too much, you're too stretched. There are things that are going to get by you that maybe one day you will regret. I
Yeah.
wish I would have done that, or I wish I would have spent more time with this person, or
Yeah.
those kind of things. But a really interesting exercise I heard, and I think this is the perfect time to talk about it, is that you sit down and you write. And I learned this from the
Yeah.
Mooney, um, who is an amazing human being, all in his own right. But
Yeah.
you sit down and you write yourself a letter dated 12/31, in this case 12/31, 2026. So New Year's Eve 2026.
Okay.
A year from now,
Yep.
give or take. And in that letter, you write all of the things that you're grateful for. Not the things that have happened in 2025, but the things basically like a wish list or an energetic anchor, if you will. You write this letter, I'm grateful that I was able to do this, or I'm grateful that I got a new job, or
Yep.
whatever
As
it
if it
is,
has already,
as
looking.
if it has
Yeah.
already happened.
Yep.
As if it has already happened. Not things you're even necessarily working on. Like my whole idea is to sit with that idea, to meditate on it, and invite in the possibilities that maybe you can't even imagine, and write those in the letter. And then on December 31, New Year's Eve, pull out that letter and just see, how you did.
That's
And
really
maybe
cool. I
you
like
might,
that.
I mean, I think it'd be a really interesting exercise, because I think what could happen is, wow, look at that. I thought I wanted that, but it turns out what I really wanted was, B.
Yep.
Or um I was really, shooting low there. Like, look at what really happened,
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
um
Well, putting the energy out there, putting the intention out there, and then
right.
letting the universe kind of, all right, over to you,
It's,
and then
yeah,
seeing
like an
how it
energetic
actually.
anchor,
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I think that's a really good idea. I don't know. We really, I mean, I guess if you want to call it, we went through a dark night of the soul with the show, because we didn't really know where we were wanting to go with it or what we
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the truth of the matter is, there is a lot of good content on our channel. We put out a lot of good wisdom and come up with a lot of good and fun things to do. So I am not unhappy about any of it.
Yep.
And I look forward to sharing this time every week. So I like that we decided to just kind of, you know, have a conversation and figure out, keep having the conversations while we're figuring out what else we're going to do.
Right. I think the one thing we landed on that's really positive is every day we learn something new, we read something, we experience something, and sharing that
Yeah,
is fun and helpful to people that are trying to navigate this world just like we are.
exactly. And
So
and neither one of us is entirely attached to, you have to do it this way,
right, does it
so I
resonate with
like
you?
I like that, right? I like that we can give people a different perspective sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not, you know me, I'm not beyond saying, yeah, this person said this, and this is why I don't go along with that. I don't, I think it's important that we invite those kind of topics as well.
Yep.
So, um, anyway, so that's really. Do you have any more thoughts about this reset, January
Yeah,
reset?
well, the thing that was interesting was the names of the months. So
Oh, right.
yep. So the video you sent me, the woman was talking, saying basically energetically, January is the worst time to try and start something new, and then she followed up and said, the original calendar, started in March. March was spring. That's the beginning, and we know that because September is 7, sept. October is 8.
Mm-hmm.
Um, November 9, December 10. So the months are skewed. Those are the original numerical Latin names for the months. And so we know that, the original year started in the spring like it's supposed to. Now in 1582, according to this article, that's when the Pope at the time decided, nope, we're going to change everything around and we're going to start the year in January. And that's what we're left with right now.
Well, here's the beauty of that, and it just came to me as you were sitting here. That's what they say, right?
Right?
But we are at choice. We have free will, And if my year start, I know a lot of people who really view the beginning of the year as the Chinese New Year.
Yeah, that's true. And that's always spring also.
Yeah. Well, is it or is it February?
So it's like it moves around because it's lunar. So it'll be as early as like mid-February and as late as mid-March. So it's going to be between mid-February and mid-March.
See, so I mean, to me that's closer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
closer.
Tuesday, February 17th
Yep.
is
Well,
this year.
yes. In fact,
And the year,
Valentine's Day and Chinese New Year are packed into the same weekend.
oh yay. Well, Valentine's Day is a Hallmark holiday, so
It
whatever.
is. It is. But
But
it's so hard to get a restaurant on that day.
well, yeah, but again, I don't do amateur night, so I don't go out on New Year's Eve either, or Halloween, or
Or what's the other one? The
yeah, what is the St. Patrick's Day?
yeah, St. Patrick's. That's
Oh,
for
and you know what? I'll tell you what, in Chicago, St. Patrick's Day is a huge amateur night.
it's
Um,
crazy. I've been in Chicago on St. Patrick's Day. You know, they dye the river green
yeah,
and
that's so
and
stupid.
and it's right. And there are just crowds everywhere.
Yep,
It's unruly.
it 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 is. I don't know. I don't like all that. I like to go to the city. If I do go, I like it. I like to go at an off time.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's just really maybe we could all just look at it for a second, and it's a little bit of a dissonance with nature. Um, and I like this. January motivation is artificial. Like it's just what we're told we're supposed to do,
Right.
right?
Right.
Get
Right. It's
motivated in
arbitrary.
January. Start exercising in January. Here comes January. Join the gym. Like how many people join the gym in January and never step a damn foot in the place? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why most of these big gyms can be $20 a month.
Right. Because they have like
You know,
90% of the
back
people
I
pay
don't know
and
if
won't
you
show up.
remember, but back in the day, Bally's back in the day was, 50 or something. I mean, even in the 70s, it was a lot of freaking
Yeah.
money. Like
That was a big cost.
they wouldn't even I mean, they used to take your ID and not even let you out of there without trying to sell you. Um,
Wow, that's over the top.
yeah, yeah, it was big. Yeah, it was big. I was like, no, you're not keeping me prisoner in here. But it's interesting how this is a little bit of an aside, and we only have a few minutes left, but I'm just gonna put a couple of warnings out there for the new year. I needed to call the phone company. It's the big one that starts with an A. Because my husband was an employee, and I had to switch the phone into my name because
Yep.
we used to get a discount in his name. So, um, there is a company whose phone number has two digits flipped from their customer service phone number, it's a real easy flip. It's like uh the AT&T is 0500 and this company is 0050.
Yep.
So
Right.
I
Right.
made the mistake. And I called and I said, this is what I need. This is what's happening. My husband passed away, blah, 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 blah. And she said, well, I can sell you a she said, you may not be aware, but you might have a protection plan. I'm like, what are you talking about, a protection plan? And then I said, I don't even know if I'm keeping this account. Why would I take a protection plan? What
Right.
are you,
Right.
what
Right.
are you talking about? And then she actually said, and I didn't catch it, well, sometimes people misdial.
Oh.
And so she just wouldn't stop with the protection plan, this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is what I'm trying to do. If you can't do that, well, the protection plan will cover. So I hung up.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you
and
realize,
then I realized that I called the wrong number.
wow, I bet they get
So
half their business that way.
I mean, I really want to call them back and say, that's a real schlock move. I might still, just because I think it'll be fun. But the other thing is, I had to go to the bank today to do some business. And do you know they could not let me walk out with, I mean, and this is a big bank, another big bank. It wasn't a small local bank, and maybe that's why.
Right.
Oh, by the way, before you go, I just wanted to let you know you've been pre-approved for a no annual fee. I was like,
Mhm.
you know, I think that people, and this is why I'm saying this, I think we all need to stand in our power a little bit more
Yeah.
and learn to say, no, and not be susceptible to these things. I wonder if because it's January, people are a little depleted. I'm certainly depleted because my December was hard.
Yep. Yep.
Do they, I don't know if it's consciously, but at least subconsciously do it on purpose because they know that you're
Take advantage of people out there.
th-
Uh,
they
yeah,
yeah,
not at the
they
best.
know that your resistance is down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Interesting question.
So,
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna be a sleazy salesman, you might as well be the sleaziest you can.
yeah, right?
Pick the month when their
I
their
mean,
defenses are down.
yeah, it's just unbelievable. And you know, seems like January is the month where the scam calls really ramp up too.
Yep. Yep.
So, I think the message in all of this is this: be gentle with yourself no matter what time it is. And if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. If your body is telling you you need to rest, no matter what society is telling you, rest,
Yeah.
rest.
The
Maintain your responsibilities. Remember that there's a difference between responsibility and obligation. And the more obligation you create for yourself, the less freedom you have.
mhm.
Um, and wait for spring and
Yeah.
then go
So
stand
wait for
barefoot
that
in the yard.
energy to make itself known. Make that energy that's naturally wanting you to start something new. When that comes to you around springtime,
Hmm.
take advantage of that.
Yep. So anyway, I think for today, good.
Yep. I think we are.
Yep.
It's a good conversation.
So we are going to be back. We're going to try to keep them shorter because we did notice that it's harder for people to stick around for 45 minutes or an hour. So we're going to try and stay in the 20-30 minute range. Maybe get you some shorts out of these episodes.
Yep.
Um, but we're still not going to give up the high five.
Oh yeah, that's right.
High five to
High
all of
five
you. We see you. We appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button.
or else.
And we will see. There he goes. We will see you more often in 2026. Thank you very much. This is the Enlightenment Exchange. Have a good week.
Right. Bye everybody.